Welcome to CF 2.0 Geek Out, where we deep dive into ClickFunnels 2.0 and how to use it to grow your funnel building business.
Hey, I'm Susan.
And I'm Andrea.
Come along with us as we learn and discover how to use the new ClickFunnels and how to make it bend to our will.
Hey everybody, welcome. We are so excited for today. We have been waiting for it for a whole 5 days. How long has it been? 7 days. But we're so excited about it. So I will just kind of introduce what's happening today, and then you're going to be hearing a lot from Andrea because Andrea, we're going to dive into things that she knows a lot more about. But we also want to give you guys a little bit more information about who we are. I know some of you know Andrea, some of you know me, some of you don't. Some of you don't know either of us, which is cool too. So we're going to give you a little bit of our background and like why we're so into 2.0 and why this is going to be so awesome. I'm just going to do a quick check, Andrea, just to make sure that we're good in the Facebook group. So if you want to just start talking about you, and then I'll jump in and talk about me in a minute.
Sure. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Susan. So yeah, a little bit about me. So I was in the software development field for 18 years as a user experience researcher. About 2.5 years ago, broke free from that world. And you'll always see cats too. That's just part of the gig with me. That broke free from that world, started my own venture. And now I run my own agency where I design customer journeys with my clients and then I build them. And that includes autoresponders, usually ActiveCampaign, everything in the ClickFunnels world, specifically membership areas and communities, which normally translates to Facebook groups.
Yeah, and sorry guys, if you're getting like an echo, it's because I realized that my audio is coming from computer and microphone. So if you're hearing an echo, just tell me like mute, and I will. We'll figure out our system as we go. So about me, I am. I don't even know where to begin. I'm a funnel designer, also a coach in membership, like success rates. And I have gone through Catherine Jones CF Design School and other programs to give me the knowledge that I have today. We're all self-learning. I also have an agency where we do funnel stuff, but also my coaching program. And I just love ClickFunnels. I'm a Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels fan, and we all know that they have been needing to change some things to become the leader in this industry. That's why I am so excited about 2.0, because now I feel more confident in my obsession with ClickFunnels. And I won't have to explain myself anymore of why it is the best, because everyone will know it's the best, which is going to be awesome.
And I love we have a bunch of people joining us too. Just a quick shout out. We have Mirbha. I think I'm saying that wrong. You probably know Susan.
Let me get onto the comments here.
Yeah,
and then Hope so fast.
And
maybe on my phone would be better.
Sherman, I see you, and I think I saw Jennifer and Dan is here. They keep going so fast. So shout out to everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. It's super exciting. And I have to also just say, so we set this up. If you guys watched our intro video of what the genesis was for the group, we set this up on, I think, Tuesday of this week. There's already 71 members, which is super exciting. And super encouraging too, to just like other CF lifers and lovers of all things CF. So very excited to have all of you guys here. One of the questions, just real quick before we dive into it, was asking about challenges. So we have a mix in this group between people who are in the 2CCX program and people who are not. So in the 2CCX program, we are starting challenges, I think in November timeframe. I am not an authority on 2CCX, so don't quote me on that, but I know it's happening. Like one of our very first lessons is going to be in setting up a funnel hub and then setting up challenges. So I think for the comments, that's what everyone's referring to. Yeah, so Ivy, I think that's what you're referring to, is about challenges, which again, I think is probably in that like late October, November timeframe. But the reason why it's really important to stay focused on what's happening to CCX is because we're going to be using the CF 2.0 platform. And so we're going to get a little bit of behind the curtain, right, in terms of how ClickFunnels is using their own product and what we can glean in terms of the direction we're going, which is super exciting.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, I'm just answering questions in the comments.
Awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so this is really just kind of our kickoff call, getting the group started. There's going to be kind of a multifaceted approach to this community and this whole CF 2.0 geek out idea. And this group is one of those. Andrea and I are kind of just heading it up, but there's some amazing people in this group that are also going to be putting in so much value into this group. One of them is Dan Havey, who's watching right now. He's already been putting posts into the group, sharing the videos from FHL where the 2.0 was revealed. And so if you haven't watched those yet, definitely go and watch those because they're going to give you a lot of cool information about what's coming. It's almost as much information as what we have right now. I mean, pretty much everything else we're just speculating and making predictions, and it's really cool using the knowledge of what we have and how things work that we know of, making pretty good assumptions of what's coming. And so this call we're just doing just to welcome everybody into the group. We are Andrea and I will be going live every week, every Friday at the same time. And sometimes we'll have a guest on. Dan, I'm sure most likely will be one of those. And then we have some other people that we're bringing in as well. And even outside of the ClickFunnels community, Andrea's got a lot of connections in, I don't know, Andrea, you can talk about that.
Yeah, just in the tech world. So one of the predictions that we're going to talk about today, and why it's important to focus on what's happened in the tech world as it relates to what they rolled out with CF 2.0. So we'll talk about that more in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get into like geeking out on 2.0 stuff because no one's here to listen to us and like who we are. We don't care. Let's talk about 2.0 stuff. We are going to kind of focus in on membership area type like what we know about membership areas at this point. And also Andrea's going to talk about like what this actually means, what this move from 1.0 to 2.0 actually means that not a lot of people are realizing because of Andrea's knowledge on these things, on platforms and softwares. She has like, you know, an inside look almost of like, oh my gosh, I can see what they're doing, even though they haven't really openly talked about it yet. So we're going to talk about that. Andrea, I know you're going to share your screen, but I just want to kind of go over, I think, what we know from the video of membership areas. So if you guys are familiar with how they are in 1.0 right now, you know, there's kind of basically just one way that they look. It's navigation with the lessons. And you can kind of manipulate that a little bit, move things around. But for the most part, it's been like the same. It's pretty much the same, unless you're going in there and doing some like deep coding type stuff. With what we have seen so far, and Andrea, go ahead and share your screen because I know you're gonna share what it actually is looking like right now. They're basically they've told us
stop sharing your screen.
I need how in the world are we gonna handle that? We've got it. Okay, we got it. Okay, so you guys should be seeing Andrea's screen now. And okay, go ahead. So I guess this is kind of what the membership areas that so far they've been bringing us into are looking like. It looks a little bit more like some other platforms that you might be familiar with, where like Teachable, and I know there's some other ones where you've got like the thumbnails and you click on it and you enter into that membership area. But this study vault is like kind of like within a membership area, right, Andrea, if I'm not mistaken?
So what actually constitute a membership area is still kind of TBD, right? Yeah. So where I'm at in the space is called the study vault, which is obviously it's like a space that's dedicated just towards courses and classes. Now, just like what Susan was saying, one of the biggest complaints that we have heard is that ClickFunnels doesn't have like one single sign-on, like a Teachable or Thinkific or a Kajabi. So when you're coming in, right now, Dan helped us break the code in terms of we can do that now with 1.0. So for those of you who are still like, don't want to take on the risk of 2.0, still in 1.0, it is possible to do this in 1.0, but they've obviously made it a ton easier without having to do all the coding in order to make that happen. So this is what's called a single sign-on, and each one of these could be a potential product or offer that you give.
Cool. So I'm really excited about this because one, it just looks like better. I mean, this is kind of the experience that people are used to, and why a lot of people choose to house their courses in other platforms. And I think by them going this direction, it's going to bring people back. But not only that, it's not that they're just going to copy what other people already have out there. It's going so much further that and deeper than that. And they're doing it better, essentially. Like, you know, they in marketing, we say like, don't do it better, do it be first. But they're really going to just do it so much better that it's going to not matter that they were first or not.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Now, one interesting thing that I know we're going to be looking at is, you know, especially as design hackers, we want to try to make an experience as good as possible through the visual design as much as everything else. Right. And so this is pretty simple, pretty rudimentary. There's really no bells and whistles. You can't get a clear sense of brand. So one thing that'll be interesting, which I'm sure Dan, if you, again, just a shout out, he's already doing videos where he's like looking at the code to see what's possible and what we can add. So, you know, how much can we customize this experience is still TBD, but I think it's looking promising in terms of the same ability that we were able to kind of hack in 1.0 might be possible in 2.0 based on what I've been watching from Dan, but we'll let him chime in on that front.
Well, and with that though, we do know from Russell's mouth that the membership site or area editor, he did say in that one of those videos, in the reveal video, that it is going to be like the page editor. So I don't know what that means. Of course, we're making assumptions still, but I feel like that means we're going to have more ability to design these in the way that we want to, like just with the editor itself. And so I'm hoping, you know how like if you guys are familiar with the membership area editor, right now there's like a element where it's like the navigation, like the menu element, the navigation element, and then you have like the lesson content element, and you just drop those in. And I'm wondering if they're going to have some elements that are like that, where it's like what we're seeing here, like the thumbnails of all the content. Like you can just take an element and like drop it on the page and have it be there, and it won't require like coding to make it look the way that you want it. I'm hoping that they have elements of these really cool areas, like the features, like the thumbnails as an element, and we can just make the pages look however we want. If we want them to be like the whole page, then it's the whole page. If we want them to be like just across the top, hopefully we can make it like just across the top. So that's kind of what I was getting from the words that Russell said, like, and the membership area is going to be like just like the page editor. And I think that's what I'm getting from it anyway.
And we have a little indication that that might be possible. So let me show you. So these are all the same courses, right? Like the same, from an architecture standpoint, the same things. But when I go into media buy, and I won't go into too much just because I don't want to, you know, share the, but you can see here, this is new as in like 2 seconds ago.
Oh, there's buttons.
Yeah, there's buttons. So you can see here, you know, it's like lesson, and start lesson, AKA that probably means progress tracking. And it says mark complete when I go in there. So this looks very different than if I were to go into another course like this, where it gives me thumbnails. So what this tells me is that I do think exactly what you said, Susan, that we are going to be able to customize to a certain degree the look and feel of just being able to access the modules and what that experience is like. And I'll go one level deeper just so you can see they have, see, that's weird. That was like a secondary level. Like this is like the third level, which is really interesting because that means we can have multi-levels in what we are designing and building, which is really exciting. And then one more lesson down, again, so exciting, you guys. They literally just turned this on, like right before this call. This was not here. So I love it. And then when you go in to start a lesson, you can see here the mark completed. Now we have been, you know, racking our brains and working with Dan to try to figure out how do we measure progress in a meaningful way. Anybody who's in current ClickFunnels membership areas knows that the progress tracking is crap. Like it just doesn't, it's meaningless. It's like if somebody stayed on a page for more than 1 second, then they got a check mark, right? Which doesn't tell us anything. So this mark completed, at least somebody can say like opt in, I completed it, and they can track their progress through. So that's really exciting that at least at a high level that's there. And for Europe, I don't know what these are. And again, I want to just be cautious of not too much of the content of 2CCX to not violate any contract there with them. But I wanted to be able to just share, that just, I think this tells us a lot about what's possible. So just in that, we saw at least kind of 3 levels potentially in terms of how you structure your courses, which is, again, gives you lots of flexibility for how you can control how people go through a course or the perfect way to go through a course or a challenge or a summit.
So cool. It's so cool. Okay. Dan, I'm trying to get to Dan's in the comments. Like, you should play this video live for everybody. So I'm trying to get to that. But, it's the reaction video. Okay. Yeah. If you guys haven't watched that video, it's in this group. Dan put it in a separate post. You guys can go and watch that. Okay, but Andrea, you wanted to talk now about, like, we've been kind of teasing a little bit for the last couple of days of like a prediction that we're making, and we're making a lot of predictions, but this one is the one that's relevant today. And it's kind of like the foundation. Like, you have to kind of understand that this is the direction that ClickFunnels is going to be able to understand like just the sheer potential of what is coming and the opportunity of what is coming. So go ahead and tell them that.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm going to get a little bit nerdy on you guys. And so, Susan, reel me back in and let's make sure that we know, like, okay, this is relevant because. So in the software world, there is, software as a service, which is typically what ClickFunnels has been in the past, right? Where it's like, we pay for software and it's a service, right? Like the software provides us an ability to do our service, to build funnels and all that great stuff, right? So that's wonderful. And a lot of companies do that really successfully. We probably have a tech stack. All of us entrepreneurs have a tech stack of like infinitely long, right? Where we're buying software every single day. Okay, that's great. ClickFunnels 2.0 is not, in my opinion, software as a service. ClickFunnels has made a significant play into a different world. And that world is called platform as a service. Okay, why is that important? So the most well-known platform as a service is Salesforce. Salesforce today is a $22 billion business. Like that, they are not playing around, because what they did is, instead of just saying, here's a piece of software and it's a self-contained unit, and maybe we all do like API integrations with Zapier, or we do our integrations on the back end, right? All of those types of integrations are a baton handoff. I have a piece of data that I want to go send and baton handoff over to another system, right? Sometimes it's like 3 baton handoffs, right? Depending on how horrible the API integration is. So, but that is how software as a service works.
For example, let's give them an example real quick. So when, what's the recent thing? So for those that have used Thrivecart, I know that's kind of a popular one right now. I don't think Pay Kickstart makes you use it, but like, so you're using some other software and you're trying to get it connected to ClickFunnels, and you have to use like Zapier in between. So like you're trying to get it integrated, but like it has to go through all these different things to actually communicate and get integrated.
Mm-hmm. Yes, which makes it really clunky. And what it also does is Thrivecart then can easily be replaced for the next best software that comes out, right? Yeah. So software as a service is a little bit more of a kind of churn and burn a lot of times. And companies who are software as a service don't usually get as enormous as platform as a service companies. Because what a platform as a service does is it's more akin to, if we're familiar with Jamie's CF Pro Tools, right? Mm-hmm. Where he literally is like embedding code into a funnel. And now that feature and function is a part of our checkout experience, is a part of our product management. Like it is embedded in, right? So what ClickFunnels has done, and this is why I think this is my prediction, is Russell didn't talk a lot about it in his reveal video. But if we look at all of the indicators, which we're going to go to in just a second, I think that ClickFunnels is making a platform as a service play. And what that means for us is infinite possibility for us to create our own applications and embed them on the ClickFunnels platform, What that means for ClickFunnels as a company is like, goodbye competitors, game over, like they're taken over, right?
Yeah.
So, and how I know that is right here where it says add an app. Okay, I used to work for John Deere, and we brought in Salesforce with this exact play to make a platform as a service for agronomic decision making. And what this means is there's a free open market. What it normally means is that there's a concentrated effort to make open APIs, which also allows for deeper levels of embedding and integration. So you can actually create an app on your own and then plug it into the ClickFunnels ecosystem. Somebody could just pick it up and then embed it into their ClickFunnels experience. Okay. One great real world example of this is ClickFunnels recently, as Russell said, acquired the company that has a bunch of different software, which is like Doodly and Zoomly and a couple other ones, right?
Yeah, which are like we might know that. I think the one I knew of from there was like the video where it's like animation, like you plug in all your content and then like their software like turns it into an animated video. Or like is it also the videos where it's like the hand and it's like writing out like the words on there? Yeah, so it's like the generator for those videos. But that's not why they acquired it, is because of those cool videos, and Andrea can explain that.
Right, exactly. So like, why would ClickFunnels acquire a company like that, right? They obviously have just built a membership area. So like Zoomly seems like it might be a competitor because they are a course platform, and then ClickFunnels. So this is really common with platform as a service play. The platform will provide a bare bones basic experience for anybody who's just coming on and doesn't want to spend extra money and doesn't want to go to any extra effort, right? But then you go to the app store and say, oh, no, I don't want the bare bones ClickFunnels membership area. I want the Zoomly experience, which does like super deep levels of engagement and like integrative videos, right? And so instead of using the basic service or the piece of software that goes with ClickFunnels software, that on the platform, we can choose other market leaders and embed it into our ClickFunnels system. So it's not this huge tech stack that we have to manage of integrations. It's already embedded right there on my platform. This is game changer. So that was one prediction of like why they acquired that company. I think it's also why they've been encouraging their employees to create things like Brain Dump and One Pager, right? So One Pager wasn't created by their employees, but tools like this, right, where they could create it and now put it on the App Store and embed it into the things you're building in ClickFunnels. It also just opens up the door for huge amounts of creative genius for us to plug and play things together, right? So imagine this, and this is me going like super futuristic, but I'll just put it out there and then I'll stop. So let's say that I say, no, I want a Zoomly experience for my courses. So I'm going to pick up that app. Bloop, I'm going to put that in instead for my courses. And I want the ability for my people to be able to integrate with One Pager as they're integrating with as they're doing stuff with my Zoomly video, right? So right there, side by side, I could put those two experiences together. Again, who knows the degree to which they'll allow us to make those kind of connections, but as a platform, as a service, that is possible. So exciting.
It's so cool because when was it when Russell was introducing One Pager to everyone? It was like in the past year. And I was like, this is so cool. This is so awesome. And then I went and like started using it, and I would use it in like part of my onboarding process. And I actually went in like full geek mode and started making like a membership area for onboarding and bringing my clients in so they could just like go through the steps of my onboarding.
Which was amazing, by the way.
It was so cool. And short-lived, which I need to fix it up and keep using it. But I have like One Pager in there. So I took them to One Pager to like drop in all their stuff, like drop in your logo, drop in this, like tell me about you, like tell me your story, like all the things that you normally have to collect from people to build funnels or write copy or do any of that kind of stuff. But it was still like, I think they tried to make it embeddable, but for some reason it wasn't really working inside of the ClickFunnels membership areas. And so I had a button and it was sending people to the One Pager site, and it just felt like clunky. I'm like, I don't want to be sending people away to a different site. So that's what this means is what Andrea is telling you is with them going to platform as a service and making things actually fully integrated, like their apps, their add-ons. I think that their little plus button on a little menu that we have a screenshot of, I think it says add-ons. And so it's like they're built into it. And that way you're not sending people to other places to go and do the task and then come back. It's all right in there. It's like Facebook. Like Facebook never wants people to leave Facebook. Well, ClickFunnels is never going to want people to leave ClickFunnels. They just want everyone to be on there and using it, which is cool.
Yeah. So exciting. So exciting.
It's so awesome. Dan has a video in the comments. I am having trouble queuing it up. So definitely let's put it in a separate post, Dan, and so everyone can watch it. If Dan says you need to watch it, then you need to watch it. Go watch it. Okay. We want to keep these to about a half hour. We don't want to talk forever each time we're on here. So we're coming up to the end of that time. But let us know in the comments, definitely if you're watching like live or on the replay, like either way, let us know in the comments how you felt about this video. Do you like this content? Hopefully if you're here in the Geek Out group that you're willing to go and geek out with us. This was getting a little bit deep because we needed to explain like the actual switch from software to platform. But hopefully we can always bring it back to you guys and give you examples of what this means. If you feel like this, like if you have ideas of ways to help you understand it better, like if this was like, I didn't understand anything that they were talking about, like please let us know. If you loved it, please let us know. Either way, we are going to go off of your feedback and make this group something that you guys like. Obviously we made it so that we would just have a place to come and geek out and just talk. Like we need an excuse to just like meet together every week and talk about these things. But this is also for you to learn with us. And at this point where we are all kind of waiting for 2.0 to come out, and I'm just like nervous. Okay, I was making sure that I was unmuted. We are at a point where we're kind of waiting for 2.0 to come out. And once it does, and once we start getting access into the editors and actually being able to do things in it, we'll be able to show you guys what we are doing in it and dive deeper into like, oh my gosh, did you know that you could do this? Like we'll bring that stuff to you as well. Because we are going to be in there, honestly, like night and day. I feel like when it comes out, I'm just going to be doing all of the things that I can to learn about it. And if you guys if you're not at that level of like, I don't have time to go and geek out on it inside, and you just want to come and watch our videos and learn like, oh, look, you can do this cool feature inside of your course now that you weren't able to do before, then that's the kind of stuff we want to bring to you. So right now we're kind of just waiting, but also wanting to lay some groundwork for you guys.
Yeah. And this is where I can tend to be like too idealistic, but it could be as early as next week. This is my hope. But yes. And I think, between Susan and I, we have 50 clients that I think we're going to be pretty aggressively trying to get over into 2.0. And so just like she said, us being able to like work through stuff and be like, okay, if you have a client or if you have an account and you're trying to decide, do I go to 2.0 and win? Those are also some of the key questions that we're going to be really diving into and grappling with, because we're going to have to make that decision for at least 50 people or help them, so super exciting.
Okay. I did see, hopefully you guys can hear me. I saw a comment from Dan a while ago, though, that you couldn't hear me. If there's been any tech issues, I am recording this, thank goodness, on my computer, and I will post the recording of it. Of course, if you can't hear me, you can't hear me saying that, so whatever. Hopefully you can hear me. Anything else, Andrea, before we sign off?
Hope asked one question that I'll just address really quick, and that is it just training videos in there? Yes, Hope. So I went through the night that I released and I clicked every single possible place I could possibly click, and the only thing right now is training videos. Now, what those two buttons that just showed up today do, I don't know yet. I'm going to click on them as soon as this is over, and I'll report back. But right now, it's predominantly just training. The 2CCX group is ramping up next week with our training, and so ideally more stuff is open, but we will see, and we will keep you guys updated in this group.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we will talk to you throughout the week, and then we'll be live again next Friday with more things that we are excited about. All right, talk to you later.